Welcome to the 2016 Performance Form video tutorial. This is part 1, setting goals and an intro into the new form. The form for 2016 has been simplified, primarily in that we've moved from InfoPath to a Word document, which is a familiar format to us all. It's still a form fill-in document, but it is a Word document, so you'll be in a familiar environment. There's actually little or no changes to the contents. It's all the same information and the same 3 steps, setting the goals, mid-year, and final performance reviews. We do have digital signatures on the Word document. They only come at the end of the year, and you'll probably see those in a separate tutorial. All right, now we're ready to dive into the form. The forms will be in Compass, and you'll start your form just the way that we did previously. That is by going to the New button, and if you hit just New, you can start the form. I'm going to cancel this just to show you that you can also do the drop down and performance management form. You can say OK to the warning notice. Everything is trusted here. And it will start a new form for you. Notice this looks a little bit different. Up here at the top, you may or may not have seen these in your other Word documents. This is a little bit of metadata or properties about the document that live actually outside the document itself. And these values will be used on the lists in Compass so that you or your manager or your senior manager can search and find the performance reviews that you're looking for. An easy way to navigate, in other words. So some of this information is outside the form itself or outside the Word document itself. So you begin by filling in the form fields or the metadata fields. Title's optional, but you can give it a title. My review would be a good one. And then you put in your employee name, and this is tied to your AMA account. So you put the name of the employee in here, assuming it's yourself. I'll do one for myself. I'm going to just type my last name and then hit the Check Names button, and it will give me choice. I double click that, drops my name in there. And then for my manager, today I'm going to use Barbara. So I'll put Zung, check names, and drop Barbara in there. You may want to put your manager's manager in there, and I'll use Sue Neal for Barbara's manager today. That's just, again, for navigations. And then you can choose your department. This is a relatively long list. It may get slimmer by the time you actually start to use it, but we'll just put this as Human Resources New York for now. Notice the status column is preset to goal setting. That's when you start your form. That's the first status that you will be in. As you progress, once you've set your goals and your managers approved your goals, you would go, for example, to goals complete, and then you might move to your mid-year, so on and so forth. We're just going to leave this now at goal setting. Not required, but very helpful. Performance forms are in. Now we go down to the strange little yellow line that says signatures, information, signatures. This document needs to be signed. You can click it here for more details. Let me tell you about what it says. There are digital signatures, as we mentioned before, for the form, and they are way down at the bottom of the form when you get through everything else. There they are. That's what they look like. And they're only when you finalize the annual review at the end of the fiscal year. So we don't have to worry about them at all right now. If you want to click and view the signatures, you can. This little handy pop-up comes up, and it says the requested signatures will be for employee and for manager. and just tells you that the document is not signed yet. And again, doesn't have to be signed till the end of the year. So we're in step 1. We're setting our goals, starting our form off. We're going to ask that you put your name in again here at the top. This is so it's actually on the form itself and on any paper copies you make. Put your manager's name in there, just again, so that it's on the paper itself. And this is a simplified list of departments you choose from the drop-down list. Your location, let's make it New York City, that's where I am. And you put your band reference if you remember. I know every year I have to go look it up. The hire date, probably best if it's typed because there is a pick list which I'll show you in a minute. And so if you go back to this field, click in, it opens up. You can use the calendar picker or type it in, whichever easy. If you have direct reports, you just check yes or no. But not both. Then you scroll down to the goal setting area, and here's where you type in your goals. And obviously, just like before, we clicked in there, so we can type in our first goal and the percentage that you're going to weight that for, and all the way down the line. Let's do a little experiment here. So I can show you that you can change the goals at any time. You can add text to the field, and it wraps around as you go. So we'll type a long sentence. You can do carriage returns in the document if you want to separate your goals or the parts of your goals by carriage returns. That's fine. So you can type. The box expands as you type, so you have plenty of room to type everything that you need. You should know, though, that you do not have access to any other formatting characters. So if you look up here in the formatting area, fonts and stuff, you can't change the size, the color, the bold. That's all disabled. It's just plain text. The only thing that you can add are carriage returns. So pretty simple. When you add up your goals, and you'll have to do this yourself, you type in the total there, and then move down to your personal goals. Now, in the personal goals, what we've done is we've taken all the competency areas and put them into a select box, because each of us is supposed to select one of the competency areas out of the 8 that are there, and then put the goal in here for that particular competency, and a percentage as usual, and just follows down all the way through the rest. Then you add that section up. That would add to. And the total of the personal development goals, and this should be 100%. And I'm off here. So let me go back and make this 7. That's all we do to start the form off and start our goal setting. Just change the status here from goal setting to goals complete. That doesn't mean your manager's approved it, but you've entered the goals completely, and once the manager approves it, then the manager can move it to mid-year manager. So the goals are complete, our form is complete. We can go back and change anything that we want to just by dropping into the box, make a change, and you can change it at any time after you've saved it. Notice that because we have a large amount of text in our goals, it has actually moved the form down. I'm going to resize this so it's easy to see. It has actually filled up the whole first page with our goal setting, our part 1. And there's a page break there, so we have a nice natural break before we get to mid-year. And we've crossed that boundary. And so this has created a blank page where you might expect to see the mid-year. That's okay. Just leave it alone. You can't change it. You can't remove it. It stays blank. It's a nice separator. Maybe if you print your form, it'll be a bit of a paper waster, but it'll keep the form nice and neat and easy. And you can see we run there into the mid-year. All right, the last thing that you have to do, we'll bring this back up a little bit. Last thing that we have to do is to save the form. And here I'm going to, the default file name will be just the generic word employee. What you should do here is put your name. I'm going to put FY 2016 for the performance form. Once you've named it, then click Save. Now the form has been saved. You can close the form in Compass on the Performance Reviews page. Here is the performance review that I just did. So you are set. Now what you do is advise your manager that your goals are done and ready for them to take a look at. That's all for part 1.